Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee, and welcome to this card making tutorial. This is the lovely card we're making today. It's this vintage, nostalgic, old-fashioned camera, and I love the way it's come out. And card base here is one of the new in colours called Golden Glow, and I just love the way it turned out. So this is the stamp set Capturing Smiles. We'll be using a few of these images as well as the dies that match this. And this we're going to first stamp with a large stamp in the new hybrid ink. Now there is a knack to opening these hybrid inks. If you try to open it from the top, you can't always do it, but if you open it just from the side like you'd open a book or something, it opens perfectly fine. So I'm going to stamp this now in the new hybrid ink, which is black. I'm going to stamp it on some different colours of cardstock. So we've got basic grey, we'll have smoky slate, and we'll have grey granite. So you can see here I've got some smoky slate, and I'm just checking that I've got enough space for my camera. And then we're going to stamp this 3 times, and then we're going to cut out the bits that we want, and we're going to collage our camera together. So there we've got one, and now we need the last one here out of grey granite. So let's give us a nice ink up. There we go. Right. So now we can give our stamp a little clean, and then we're going to stamp the rest of our little images also using the hybrid ink. So I've got these already on some blocks. So I'm just going to stamp, as I said, on various colours of cardstock. So I'm just trying to decide what colour I want to use. So I'm going to go for this grey granite here. So for this piece here, and all of these pieces I'm stamping can be cut out using the matching dies that come with the set. So it's really useful. So we've got that. So now we can give that a clean. And next we're going to stamp on the same colour here, on basic, not basic grey, this is smoky slate. We're going to stamp this little shutter image. Not happy with the way that looks, so stamp it again. Why not hold it there? Yes, much better. Right, next one we're going to go, and this is going to be sort of the outline of where the lens is. So we've got that piece. Give that a clean. Now we've finished with that stamping, so can set that all aside. Bring in our dies, and those are them. And you're going to see we're going to use those to cut everything out, and this is by magic. Everything is cut out. So now I'm bringing in my silicone mat so we can start to put things together, and some scissors. So the dark grey, which is basic grey, is going to be my base of this. And then you can see this piece here that I cut out is going to go over the front, and then I'm going to cut out from one of my pieces. I think this is from the smoky slate. I'm going to cut out that side piece, and then you can see here I'm just cutting out different parts of the camera, just so I can collage it together so it has some sort of, it doesn't look so flat, it gives it some extra interest. So here I'm just cutting out the buttons, and these are really easy to cut out just with some scissors. It's really not a difficult thing to do. And then I'm just putting it down so I don't lose the pieces. I'm putting them where I want them to be. And then I've just got this little piece here. I don't end up using the smaller button, it's just too small. I put it down there in case I want to use it, but I don't do it. So I have done a few cards now using this Capturing Smiles bundle from Stampin' Up. I bought it because one of my regular card club ladies is an avid photographer, and I thought it would be really good to make some cards with a photography theme. So that's what we've been doing in my in-person card club here in Lincoln, and everyone's been loving it. I think it's nice to be able to use some stamps that are not just floral or foliage or lace or something, just something very different. And you can see here I'm fighting my glue. It's all gunked up, but I've managed to ungunk it now. And now I'm going to stick down my pieces and just going to use my take your pick tool just to help me get things into position. And then I'm just putting a bit of glue down on the base, because if I try and put it on these tiny little pieces, I know it's going to go everywhere. So I'm just putting this is a case of less is more. And then here on the end, just a little bit. I think I've got glue by mistake on my silicone mat, so everything is sticking to it at the moment. But hey-oh, it is what it is. Now let's stick this piece down. There we go. It's really simple just to collage these pieces together like this. So now we've got the basis of our camera, and I think it's looking really good. So now I'm trying to decide what I want and where I want things to go. So I'm going to put this piece down like this, and you can't see very much of a contrast here on the camera, but in real life there is, and you'll see once I put down the rest of the pieces, it really does start to bring the whole thing together. And then I decide to use this piece inside. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Really cool. I love it. Right, now we're ready to make the rest of our card. Now, previously I used there some Wink of Stella in the centre of my card, centre of my camera, to give it a bit of a glimmer, but I decided against doing it this time. Now, my original card on my card base was Golden Glow. This time I've gone for Blackberry Bliss. And the designer shoes paper I'm using is from the Garden Poetry collection, and I'm using the B-sides. And I've cut out two little squares so it almost looks like colour swatches. And here you can see I'm going to put down the first, and this is sort of Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss colours, which is why I've chosen that card base. And then I've got this one, which is more yellows and reds, like Pumpkin Pie, Poppy Parade, that kind of colour. And I'm going to put that down there. And then it's time to stamp our sentiment, and we're going to do Happy Birthday, and we're going to do this from this lovely new sentiment set called Words and Wishes, which has a really huge number of different sentiments, both inside and outside cards, so it's really useful. So I've got here Happy Birthday. They come as two separate words, which is, I always love this when stamps I like this, because it just adds to the versatility. You can use it as Happy Birthday, or you can use it separately. It's just so useful. So I'm just going to stamp this in the corner here. Hold it. Perfect. Lovely. That worked well. And as usual, I'm going to clean up as I go along. If you know me, I'm a great believer in cleaning up as I go along. Then I don't lose things and things don't become orphaned. So let's put these little back in their little home here. And back in this lovely new packaging from Stampin' Up that I am really happy with. Right, we're going to pop this up, but first I want to put a little bit of silver foil sheet at the top where the viewfinder would be, and I just want to add that little bit of mirror effect, that little bit of glimmer, shininess, and it really just set off the whole thing. So now I want to pop this up, and I'm going to use some foam adhesive sheet to do this. This is not from Stampin' Up, I will say now. Stampin' Up do sell this, but mine is somewhere downstairs. It's meant to be in the drawer, but I think it's fallen down the back of the drawer, and the only way to get it is to unscrew the whole drawer, and as yet I haven't got the energy to do that, so I'm using this other one. Unfortunately, it's only sticky on one side, so I have to put some seal, and then I can add my foam on top. But I will link to the Stampin' Up one in the description box below. Now, all the measurements and the supply list and everything is listed and linked on my blog, and you can find all those links in the description box below, as well as all my social media links are there. So if you want to know any of the supplies of use, just have a look at that. So now we're going to finish up with some finishing touches, and I brought in here my Stampin' Up journaling pens. And I'm just going to use some dashed lines around the outside of the card just to give it a little kind of a border. And I don't know why, but this really works here. It just brings the whole, well, for me, it brings the whole design together. It just gives it that something. And then I'm going to do the same around the edge of my little pieces of designer series paper. And I like the way it also brings the black that's in the camera and in the stamping out to the rest of the card. So there we go. Isn't that lovely? Now, if you've enjoyed this video, and I really hope you have, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It really does make it my videos more visible on YouTube, and it is so appreciated. So I've added some dots here from the Pearls of Beauty, and there our 2 cards are finished. A and B, you can tell me which one you prefer in the comments below. So thank you for watching, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.